Hi guys, it's Kelly Latavola here, and I am back with another video for Tonic Studios. Today I'm going to be using the Wings and Things Monarch and Princess Wings die set. This has a large butterfly and a small butterfly. And then for the sentiment, I'm using the Little Something for Harry stamp set, which is part of the new Adorables line. So I don't typically do die cuts. This is such a short video for me. I feel like I have so much to tell you. I don't typically use like a ton of die cuts because I do a lot of coloring. However, every once in a while, there is a technique that totally makes it worth it for me, and this is one of them. So this is just the background of my card. I'm using Salty Ocean Distress ink and just kind of moving it in a diagonal across the front of the paper. I'm using the white Craft Perfect paper from Tonic. And then I picked a rainbow of distress inks. These blended really beautifully on this paper for me. I didn't have any issues at all. I kind of made sure when I was going into the middle that I like blotted it off. Did a couple little circles on my watercolor media mat here. And then I'm just going to go through blue, green, yellow, orange, pink before I get to the technique. So like I said, this is a short video for me. I pretty much sat down and was trying to figure out what I wanted to do. I really liked the butterfly dies, but sometimes making a card with die cuts is a struggle for me. Just because my go-to is coloring. Thing to note and blending them, I always go back with the color I used previously. So for the yellow, I went back in with the green and just kind of blended that over again. I'll do the same thing with the carved pumpkin here. I'll go back in with the fossilized amber to make sure that they blend well. This isn't a huge deal for this type of technique. If you don't have a perfect blend, don't worry about it, because you're not going to see necessarily the transition as blatantly as you do right now. I'm going to, once this is all done, I'm going to pull out an adhesive sheet. And I did try this a couple of different ways. So the adhesive sheet definitely takes the most glitter. The most glitter sticks to the adhesive sheet. But I also tried it with spray adhesive, and that worked as well. So I'm just going to pull off part of this to get it started. And then I'm going to this is sticky on both sides. So there's release paper on both sides. I'm going to stick this down and pull off this side of the release paper so that it is all sticking to the front of my cardstock where I've done the distress inking. And I'm just going to trim off the excess. Then I'm going to release the other side no, I'm lying to you. I'm going to burnish it first. And the reason that I chose to do this, I just took my bone folder. I just wanted to make sure that it was totally adhered. I didn't have any air bubbles, anything like that. So I just kind of scrubbed over it a couple of times to make sure that it was all good. And now I'm going to take it off. And you can see this whole sheet is now shiny. It's sticky, and it's going to take this sparkle dust really well. So this is the silver sequin sparkle dust. And you would think, Kelly, you're going to put silver over the color and you're not going to be able to see it. Wrong. You're totally still going to be able to see it, and it looks amazing. Now, don't do what I'm doing. Okay? Don't do it, because I got so excited about all the glitter, because you guys know glitter rainbows. I was all euphoric. And I didn't put down a piece of paper underneath my glitter to catch it. So do that. Please do that. It'll make your cleanup so much easier, because I just did it right on my media mat and my cleanup was horrific. I have glitter pajama pants now. In fact, Eric had to help me tilt the mat up so that I could pour it back into the container, because I didn't want to waste it all. But anyway, you can see me scrubbing over it with my finger. You're definitely going to want to do that part. It changes the finish on it. To burnish it in there, just with your finger, it really presses it down, and it makes it kind of super soft and velvety, and that it's not going to come off your project, which is awesome. So the one thing that I did use, and you know me, I'm not a big tool person. So this had actually just been sitting in my bucket that I had not used, was the big desk sweep. But thank God I had it, because it worked so well to get everything back into one pile so that I could just dump it into, and then it's a silicone grade media mat, so I just washed it and it was fine. So now I'm just going to start running this through. I used the smaller butterflies so I could put a bunch of different colored butterflies on my card. And I think total out of that piece of paper, I think I got 8 butterflies. I only ended up using 4, so I could probably make basically the same card twice. And I'm just using my craft pick to pop this out. Super cool thing about using it on the adhesive, like the adhesive paper, is it makes it much thicker. And so they're like malleable. Like you can bend them without them like ripping or like going back to their original position. So I could pop up the wings and they would stay, and it looked super, super cool. So I have the butterflies I'm going to be using over here on the right hand side, and I'm just going to go ahead and stamp my sentiment. I used the Black Shadow Nuvo Hybrid ink to do that. What else was I going to tell you? So the glitter thing was, wow, it was everywhere. It's still everywhere. I mean, there's a reason why they like have that meme that glitter is the, what do they call it? Glitter is the herpes of crafting, because you never get rid of it. It's totally true, because I still have glitter on my pajama pants. But still totally worth it. And if you do it the right way, like if you don't get overly excited, the way that I did, you're not going to have that kind of cleanup problem, because when I tested it to see if it would work, I did not have that type of cleanup problem. So that was my own doing. So here's just kind of a close-up. There's also close-up pictures over on the blog that you can check out. These look amazing, and I love that you can still see the color through all of the glitter, because I love rainbows and it was so fun. So here I'm just kind of trying to lay them out. I pretty much just left in this part of the process because this is such a short video for me and I wanted to make sure I would have time to talk to you. A couple of things to note. The photos that you see also have the, what are they? Simply White crystal Nuvo drops, because I felt like it needed something after I was done filming, like looking at the card. I was like, this looks just naked. Also, speaking of things that are naked, are we noticing my nails right now? I don't have any nail polish on. What happened? What happened was they started chipping at work and so I took them off, and then I was like an hour from being done with my shift, so I was like, I'll just, put a base coat on so I don't break one, and then I'll paint them when I get home. But I needed to finish my card first because all of this was still laid out, and so I couldn't put my nail polish on top of it. I did a little like Q&A thing on Instagram to ask what kind of manicure you wanted to see. Rainbow was the overwhelming response, and so I did attempt to do rainbow nails, and it was really just an exercise in aggravation. I could not get it to do what I wanted to do. I kept bumping nails, having to go back and touch them up. One of the colors that I was using, the green, was far too sheer to do any kind of gradient with, so it was just really aggravating, and that didn't really work for me, so I just opted for purple, which I'm sure you'll see in the next video. So here I felt like this butterfly was just a little bit too close to the sentiment. It was crowding it. So I did kind of rip the paper a little bit when I moved it, but not a huge deal because I'm putting the butterfly basically back in the same exact spot. I'm just scooting it up a little higher, so you didn't even really see that. And I only adhered the center points of their bodies because I really loved that I could kind of bend them and shape them. So that's it. That's the whole card. And like I said, if you watch either the beginning part of the video or the end part of the video, you can see where I added those Nuvo white droplets, and I think it added so much to the card. That was such a better decision. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will catch you on the next video. Bye.